You ever seen someone so desperate for clout that they forgot borders exist? Yeah, influencers chasing likes like it's their last breath. Welcome to a world where fame isn't just addictive, it's radioactive. And sometimes, that radiation gets you kicked out of the whole damn country. Let me explain. This isn't just a gossip reel. It's a deep dive into what happens when chasing views turns into international drama. You think getting canceled online is bad? Try getting deported in real life. Trust me, you're gonna want to watch till the end of this video, because the stories we're about to unpack, they're wilder than your favorite reality show. Now, see this. We already talked about Vitaly Zdorovetsky, the prankster turned livestream lunatic who ended up behind bars in the Philippines. Dude was doing the most for content, harassing strangers, mocking authorities, even snatching food from vendors. Not cool. The guy was so far gone, he forgot he wasn't in his backyard. So yeah, Vitaly's story is in the Hall of Shame, but today we're focusing on the others, the influencers who thought they were untouchable, until the country they disrespected gave them the boot. Starting with a name you probably recognize, Logan Paul. Back in 2018, Logan Paul was already skating on thin ice. But when he walked into Japan's Aokigahara forest, aka the suicide forest, with his vlog camera, everything unraveled. It was supposed to be a quirky travel vlog. But what happened? Logan and his crew stumbled across a real tragedy, a man who had taken his own life. And instead of stopping the camera, showing respect, or calling for help, Logan filmed it, made jokes, uploaded it. The backlash was immediate, global. People weren't just upset, they were furious. And Japan? They were not having it. Locals slammed him for his disrespect, for treating their sacred spaces like some kind of haunted amusement park. Logan Paul became public enemy #1 overnight. He left Japan in a rush, tail between his legs. No formal deportation, but the message was clear. Stay gone. Japan basically ghosted him. They weren't about to let him back in anytime soon. That moment, it was a turning point, not just for Logan, but for YouTube culture. A line was crossed, and people finally started asking, how far is too far for views? Next up, Sneako. If you don't know him, Sneako's the kind of dude who lives for chaos. Controversy is his middle name. But one trip to the UK turned into a PR nightmare and an international incident. Sneako flew to London for a social experiment. That's influencer speak for doing dumb stuff for clicks. He started walking around the streets with what looked like a real weapon, trying to get reactions. Shock factor, right? Only problem? The UK takes stuff like that seriously. You can't just parade around with fake guns. It ain't the movies. Police swooped in, people panicked. He was arrested, interrogated, and slapped with a ban. Yup, Sneako's now blacklisted from re-entering the UK. They literally stamped his passport, do not return. Here's the kicker. He tried to play the victim, claimed it was just a joke. But hear me out. When your joke causes real fear, that's not content, that's a crime. Our next on the list is none other than Kayla Jenkins. Now this one flew under the radar. She is better known online as Okayla, was doing the typical influencer in Bali thing. Sunsets, coconuts, villas. But what most people didn't see, she wasn't following the rules. Indonesia has strict visa regulations. You're there to relax, not work. But Kayla was allegedly doing paid promos, brand deals, all that jazz, on a tourist visa. Word got out. People reported her. Authorities launched an investigation. When the dust settled, Kayla got the boot. Officials didn't just deport her, they put her on a blacklist. She was banned from re-entering Indonesia for years. What's wild? She never really owned up to it. Played it off like a misunderstanding. But locals weren't buying it. To them, it was another foreigner treating Bali like a playground instead of someone's home. Moving on. Thailand. Beautiful beaches, vibrant cities, rich culture, and very, very strict rules about public behavior. But apparently nobody told Lee and Riley, a couple of TikTokers who decided to film a sexy dance challenge on a moving train. They were grinding, twerking, doing all the things you should not do on public transport in Thailand, especially not on camera. Especially not in a country where that kind of behavior is seen as massively disrespectful. The video went viral, and not in a good way. Thai authorities tracked them down fast. They were detained, fined, and asked, politely but firmly, to leave the country. Their social media accounts swarmed with angry comments. Locals called them out for cultural insensitivity, arrogance, and just plain stupidity. Thailand didn't need to say the words banned, but with their names flagged at immigration, it's safe to say, Lee and Riley won't be back anytime soon. Let's circle back to Bali, because there's something about paradise that makes influencers lose their minds. This time, it was an American woman, we'll call her Kristen, who posted a now infamous Twitter thread about how she and her partner were living in Bali tax-free and thriving during the pandemic. Sounds cute, right? Until you realize she was basically admitting to immigration fraud and flexing about it. Her tweets blew up, but not in a good way. Indonesians were pissed. Here's this foreigner, skirting laws, flaunting privilege, and acting like Bali was her personal sanctuary while locals were struggling. The government got involved. Kristen was detained and quickly deported. Her Twitter account vanished. Her dreams of island life? Gone with the next tide. What makes this story extra spicy is that Kristen genuinely thought she was doing people a favor, offering advice on how to escape capitalism. But to many, she came off tone-deaf, arrogant, and wildly out of touch. So what do these stories have in common? Every one of these influencers crossed a line. Whether it was legal, moral, or cultural, they ignored boundaries. Why? Because clout was calling. Because likes, shares, and views felt more important than respect. And you know what? This isn't a new trend. It's just louder now, more visible, more dangerous. Interestingly, social media was supposed to connect us. But for some influencers, it became a mirror of ego, a stage where only they mattered. And countries around the world? They're finally saying enough is enough. There's a phrase, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And when you treat someone's home like a movie set, that prize might just be a one-way ticket out. What happened to respecting the culture? To doing your homework before traveling? These aren't just rules, they're signs of human decency. Sure, it's easy to say, they were young, they made a mistake. But hear me out. Mistakes are spilling your coffee, not filming a suicide victim or staging fake crimes. There's a point where innocence ends and accountability begins. Even fans are starting to catch on. The same followers who cheered these influencers on are now questioning their choices. The tide is turning. And maybe, just maybe, that's a good thing. Because fame without humility is a ticking time bomb. And when it goes off, it doesn't just take down careers. It wrecks trust, damages cultures, and puts lives at risk. Let this be a warning, a flashing neon sign in the influencer playbook. Respect the country or get kicked out. And remember, no amount of clout is worth your freedom.